I never expected that the happiest moment of my life would turn into the moment everything fell apart. The day my wife told me she was pregnant, I cried. I held her and promised I would be the best father I could be. I imagined our future in a heartbeat. I painted the nursery. I worked extra hours. I saved every dollar because I wanted our child to have everything. But while I was preparing to be a dad, she was preparing a lie. My name is Daniel, and I thought I understood love. I thought marriage meant trust and partnership. I thought becoming parents together was the ultimate bond. Instead, it was the start of the biggest betrayal I've ever known. It began with small changes that I brushed off. She stopped letting me come to her OB appointments. She said she felt safer with her mom there. She put a lock on her phone, then accused me of being controlling when I asked why. She kept saying she was too tired for intimacy. I believed her. Pregnancy is exhausting, I told myself. Be supportive. Be patient. Be understanding. So I was. But doubt still crawled in when the nights got quiet. One night, I got up at 2 a.m. for water and found her in the living room, whispering on the phone. When she saw me, she panicked and hung up. She said she was talking to her cousin about baby clothes. I wanted to believe her so badly that I did. I hated myself for not trusting her, and I convinced myself I was the problem. 3 months before the baby was due, everything exploded. I came home early from work with takeout from her favorite restaurant. I wanted to surprise her. But as soon as I walked through the door, her father was standing there. He looked angry, disappointed, like I had failed somehow. He told me to sit. His voice was stern, like a judge delivering a sentence. Then he said it. "The baby is not yours." My ears rang. My stomach dropped. My hands went numb. I laughed at first because it sounded too ridiculous to be real, but he didn't laugh. My wife stood behind him with tears in her eyes, not saying a single word. Her dad continued. "She made a mistake, but you are her husband. You will raise this child as your own and move on. We expect you to be a man about this." I stared at him, waiting for someone to say it was a joke. Waiting for her to defend me. Waiting for any sign that she still loved me. But she only whispered, "I'm sorry." The world shifted. Everything I believed about our life together shattered right there on the living room floor. I walked out before I said or did something I'd regret. I spent the night in my car, shaking, trying to understand how the person I trusted most could betray me so deeply. My heart was broken, but eventually heartbreak turned into rage. And rage turned into clarity. I needed answers. Real ones. The next morning I went back. I told her to tell me everything. She confessed the affair had been going on for almost a year. The father was her co-worker. They had been sneaking around while I planned our future. Asked her why. She said she didn't feel wanted. I gave her everything I had, and it still wasn't enough. Then came her father again. He told me I needed to man up and accept the situation. He said divorce would embarrass their family. He said the baby needed a stable home, and that meant me playing daddy to a child who wasn't mine while the affair partner stayed in the picture. That was the moment something inside me snapped. I looked at that man and said, "I will not raise another man's child so you can protect your reputation." His face turned red with rage. He called me selfish, irresponsible, manly. But I didn't care anymore. I packed my things and left. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I didn't even slam the door. I was done being disrespected. First thing I did was call a lawyer. The paternity test confirmed it. 0% chance I was the father. My lawyer filed for divorce and made sure there would never be any legal responsibility tied to that child. No custody. No child support. Nothing. When the papers were served, her dad showed up at my apartment pounding on the door. He blamed me for abandoning family. He said I would regret this. I told him I already regretted trusting them. Word spread fast through both families. Some relatives called me cold. Others said I was doing the right thing. A few tried to guilt me into going back. But the only voice that mattered was my own saying, "You deserve better than lies." 2 months passed. Then one afternoon she called. I almost didn't pick up, but curiosity got the better of me. She was sobbing. The affair partner had blocked her. He wanted nothing to do with her or the baby. She begged me to come back to help her, to try again like adults. I listened quietly, then asked one question. If he had stayed, would you still be calling me? Silence. That was my answer. I told her we were done, and that she should never contact me again unless it was through the lawyers. I hung up before she could respond. Today, when I look back, I feel sadness, but not for myself. For the child caught in the middle of their selfishness. For the future we could have had if she had chosen loyalty instead of lies. But mostly I feel relief. Because I made a choice that protected my future. I chose self-respect over humiliation. Truth over comfort. Freedom over a lifetime of raising a constant reminder of betrayal. People say I ran away from responsibility. They're wrong. I walked away from someone else's consequences. And that has been the most empowering decision of my life.